This is The Download from Sounds Profitable, your daily source for the essential news in the business of podcasting. I'm Gavin Gaddis. Here's what you need to know for today, Wednesday, April 8th. First up, George Soros' firm invests in progressive MeidasTouch Network. Soros Fund Management is leading an investment round in progressive media organization MeidasTouch Network, reports Ashley Carman. The terms of the deal have not been disclosed. Pod News notes this is the latest in a series of podcasting-related investments from the Soros Fund Management, such as when it became a primary shareholder for Audacy in 2024 and when it invested in Crooked Media in 2022. Next up, a practical GEO framework. Right Side Up revisits the topic of generative engine optimization, or GEO. Content visibility in generative AI models and chatbots depends heavily on structure and third-party brand mentions. Back in November of 2025, Right Side Up senior content marketing manager Vincent Nin published a guide examining the basics of GEO, the nuances of how it differs from traditional SEO or search engine optimization, and providing a framework to help brands establish answer-ready content. Next up, independent Australian show tops U.S. Apple Podcast charts in 47 days. Independent podcast network Mashed Pumpkin Productions launched What I Survived on February 18th, 2026. In the first 47 days, it hit number 31 on the Apple Podcast charts overall, number 1 on documentary, and number 4 in society and culture. Host and network founder Jack Lawrence credits Apple Podcast U.S. homepage editorial feature with the chart climbing success and over 440,000 downloads. The show's performance is a reminder of the impact editorial features still have in podcasting. Lawrence notes his show's peak had it charting alongside productions from iHeart Podcasts, Wondery, NPR, Barstool Sports, and the New York Times. And for our final top story, I created hit podcast, then the bubble burst. An anonymous source speaking to Caitlin Houston at The Hollywood Reporter recounts working as a producer on several narrative-driven podcasts during the boom period starting in 2018. By 2023, narrative and journalistic podcast opportunities dried up. The source got laid off from 2 major companies despite producing hits. Full-staff narrative podcasts, now costing between $300,000 and $600,000, are tough sells compared to lightweight influencer or celebrity chat shows. The producer worries about the state of narrative journalism and podcasting as they see the few companies still producing new projects are actively investing in significantly developed independent content. After the producer's first layoff, they spent 6 months developing a news tip independently, using savings and severance to stay afloat. The project ended up successful, but the producer notes it was hard work with no guarantee of payoff. For narrative journalism to continue in the modern podcast space, it's going to require reinvestment from the industry that benefited from the success of narrative storytelling, like Serial, in the first place. As for the rest of the news, Podscribe has announced its radio air checks capability now includes SiriusXM inventory, letting advertisers and agencies track SXM radio ads from Podscribe's workflow. In addition, Podscribe has rolled out automated pixel email scheduling and the ability for publishers to invite podcasters to have secure and scoped access to performance data. Strategic Solutions research partner Hal Rood has a newsletter examining how podcast audiences enjoy giveaway contests. With rising gas prices, gas gift cards are a natural, repeatable giveaway to engage audiences. Ozen FM has launched podcastbot.ai, an AI-powered broadcast-to-podcast platform designed for radio groups and broadcasters to convert live programming into on-demand podcast content. Signal Hill Insights President Paul Riesmandel has a new article examining how brand lift helps correct for underperforming campaign metrics. Podcast Metric and growth platform OSHA has announced the beta of OSHA Visibility Ads, a tool allowing podcasters to run paid visibility campaigns directly on Spotify and YouTube. The April 7th episode of Podcast Perspectives features a conversation recorded live at South by Southwest 2026 with Sounds Profitable partner Brian Barletta, Podcast Nation co-founder Nadine Robinson, Lower Street CEO Harry Morton, and Podglomerate founder Jeff Umbro gathering for a high-level panel titled, "So Everyone Has a Podcast, Should They?" And finally, speaking of South by Southwest, the latest episode of Podcast Advertising Playbook is an interview with Podstock co-founder and CEO Michael Paretsky, recorded live at Podcast Movement Evolutions. That'll do it for today's episode of The Download. As a reminder, you can find links to everything I just talked about by clicking the one link in your episode show notes. That'll take you to today's episode post on soundsprofitable.com, where you can also subscribe to get the newsletter version and receive those links sent directly to you every day. Today's episode was written and produced by myself, Molly DeMillier, Tom Webster, and Brian Barletta. For Sounds Profitable, I'm Gavin Gaddis, and I'll see you tomorrow.